There was a man named Elkanah who had 2 wives. The first was Peninnah, who had many children, and the second was Hannah, who had no children. Peninnah would often make fun of Hannah because she didn't have any children. But Hannah deeply desired to be a mother and have a child, and so she went before the Lord and prayed to him.
Lord Almighty, if you will only look upon your servant's misery, and remember me and not forget me, but give me a son, then I will give him to the Lord for all the days of his life.
God heard Hannah's prayer and he answered her. She became pregnant and had a son and named him Samuel. And when Samuel was still very young, she brought him to the temple, and he served there for the rest of his days.
She followed through on what she had promised to the Lord and gave her son to God. Just think of this. Hannah desired to have a child. She desired to be a mother and raise a child. And so she came to the Lord and asked for what she desired. But before she even received this gift, she lived open-handed, recognizing that what she had belonged to God. We are to live with a posture of having our hands open. Now, I'm not saying actually give all the things you have to the temple or to the church, but it's the posture of Hannah recognizing that what we have is the Lord's. There's a difference between living open-handed and living close-handed. This is an alabaster jar from Egypt. But let's say I pray to the Lord for this and he gives me this gift. So if I'm living close-handed, I begin to view God's gift as mine and only mine. It becomes about the gift and not the giver. We remove space for what God wants to do with this gift. What if he wanted to take it away or replace it? We're not giving him the authority to do that. What if you wanted to add to it or make it grow? What if you wanted to fill this up with more? I have given him no room to do that. We rob the potential of what God has for our lives and with the things that he blesses us with. When we live open-handed, we recognize that God has the authority. We also give the opportunity to receive more. What's interesting about Hannah is after Samuel, her first son, she receives 5 more children. The Lord blesses her immensely more than she could ever think or imagine. When we live open-handedly, we are living in God's will, where he can do what he wants with the gift that he has given us, with the prayer that he's answered. What is something in your life that you are holding on to too tightly and you need to live open-handed?